Hi, I'm Orgone Nik and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be making a beautiful pyramid called the Flight of Pegasus. This is just another one of my beautiful creations with Amazonite, gold flecks, clear quartz crystal, amethyst, steel shavings, copper BBs, and a beautiful seed of life lotus flower emblem on the front and hologram gold. Anyway, it's just a beautiful pyramid, and you can actually enter to win this pyramid if you want. Enjoy this video and find out how to enter at the end. Okay, to get started, I want to show you what we will need to make this pyramid. Of course, we will need a pyramid mold, and mine is hard plastic. It's got a hard plastic outer shell, and then on the inside it has a silicone insert. So the hard plastic gives us the shape that we'll need, and the silicone insert makes sure that we can demold it with ease. And the crystals, or this LEMURIAN seed crystal, is going to be in the apex, and then we will use amethyst, amazonite, and quartz crystal. And the metals we will be using are steel shavings, which comes in a really big bag, and I don't have it to set up in front of the camera, so you'll see it when we use it. And I might use some copper BBs on this one. So anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and pour the apex. And I'm using polyester casting resin, which comes in a big gallon jug, and I can't pour small amounts from it, so I keep my resin in a jar. I did just recently switch to a cleaner jar. The outside of my other jar just got too icky sticky to use. I'm still using the same top until I can get a new one. So I'm just gonna use an ounce of resin for the apex. Pour that in my mixing cup. And I'm not sure how many drops are suggested on the container of my resin, but the amount of hardening drops I like to use is 9 drops to start and 9 drops for every ounce thereafter. I'm using 1 ounce, so that means 18 drops. And my new nitrile gloves have not gotten here yet, so I have to reuse my icky sticky nitrile gloves. You can totally make this pyramid out of epoxy resin. It's just going to take you longer is all. Polyester casting resin cures a lot faster and with far fewer bubbles than I've ever seen with the epoxy resin. There's some give and takes on either one, but I like to use polyester casting resin for my pyramids because I can make them in a day. If I was to use epoxy resin, it would take several days to make one pyramid. And I think it looks just as good, if not better. So I'm just going to pour this straight on down into the apex. Whoops, I meant to pour a smaller amount so I could get my crystal situated. Alright, it looks like it's going to stand up straight for us, or as straight as it's going to be. So I'll pour in the rest of my resin. Okay, so we are done with this layer. We're just going to let this congeal, and I'll be back to do our next layer, which, by the way, I didn't introduce. I will be using gold flecks, or gold flakes, gold leaf flakes, which I will tear into tiny flecks, and we'll use this for our next layer, which means I have to tear some up ahead of time. So by the time you see the next segment, they should already have been torn up in the bottom of a cup, ready to go. So I'll get that ready and I will see you then. Okay, so it's that time. We're going to add our gold flecks in the resin. And I forgot to mention earlier that we will also be using Mylar Flakes mixed in with our gemstones to give it kind of a special flair. And anyway, I have 3 different kinds. I'm not sure which all I'm going to use, but it will come up when it's time. I had a lot of static electricity problems with my gold leafing flakes. They were so strongly attracted to the top of this cup. I'm trying to get them to fall down to the bottom so I can mix them all up together. So I think I'm going to pour about 3/4 of an ounce. Perfect amount of gold flakes. I love it when I get that right. So we're just going to let this congeal, and I will be back to do our first layer of gemstones mixed with our Mylar. I think I'm going to start with Amazonite. Okay, Amazonite and Mylar flakes. That's what we're doing in this layer. Looking down into the pyramid so far, I really love the gold flecks. They turned out really well. So I am adding in some Mylar flakes. I'm just going to sprinkle them right on into the resin. Yeah, that should be good. So I'm going to pour some in here first to get my Mylar flakes on both sides of the gemstones. Perfect. Just want to make sure that my Mylar flakes get stirred up with the gemstones so they are equally about the layer. Wonderful. Our next layer, I intend to add copper BB. Okay, so it's time to add some copper BBs. Okay, so our next layer will be the clear quartz crystal with some more Mylar flakes. Okay, now it's time to do our layer of clear quartz crystals and Mylar flakes. I'm going to add some of my Mylar flakes to the resin mix. Okay, so we are all set until my next layer, which is going to be Amethyst and Mylar flakes. And we are adding our final layer of gemstones, which is Amethyst. And I'm also adding some Mylar flakes with it. Okay, so we are done with this layer of gemstones, and the next layer will be steel shavings with Mylar flakes. Okay, so it's time to add the steel. And I'm going to add the last of my gunmetal Mylar flakes to this layer. I hope that's enough to do something. I love how rustic cut this steel is. Nice and curly shapes, bend in every direction. I'm probably going to have to add some more resin to this because metal is sticking out all over the place. Perfect. That encases all my metal, and so I'm safe with no metal hanging out the bottom. And yeah, this is gonna harden up and look great. We'll demold it after, probably later this afternoon, closer to evening, and we'll see what we've got. Okay, so it's time we unmold this, demold it, whatever you want to call it. I think that's really pretty. With the blue on top like that, and the Mylar flakes, and the gold flecks. And then there's Mylar flakes and the amethyst and quartz crystal in the middle. And the steel looks good. Wow. And one of you guys are gonna end up with this if you enter to win. The next thing that needs to be done is these edges have to be sanded, and I use an emery board to do my sanding because I get a lot more control out of an emery board than I do sandpaper. And then I'll need to put the feet on, which I can do right now with you guys here. Okay, so we got our feet put on, and I'm gonna put a hologram emblem on here. I haven't decided which one will go on here just yet, but we will adorn it for sure. So when I pick this sticker out and sand the edges, I will be back to show you what it ultimately looks like. So I haven't yet sanded the edges, but I did go ahead and put a sacred geometry emblem on the front of this, and it's a gold leaf version of the lotus flower seed of life, and it goes great with these gold flecks here on top. It just like makes the piece complete. And anyway, I hope you can see that well enough. It's a really pretty pyramid, and I know somebody's going to be really glad to have this, whoever wins it. So good luck to you. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for sticking around. So if you are interested in entering to win this pyramid, this is a $93 value, including shipping. And in order to win it, you just have to do a few things. Number one is subscribe to my channel. Number two, hit the notification bell to be made aware of new projects as they come out. And number three, share this video on some form of social media, and then come back to this video and comment in the comment section. Leave a message that says that you have subscribed, you hit the notification bell, and you shared this video, and give me a link to where you shared the video in the comment, and just wait for the drawing. It's going to be 6 weeks from today. I will draw a name and let you know who is the winner. So hopefully it's you. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up. You know it makes me super happy when you do that. And subscribe to my channel if you want to be made aware of new ideas. And don't forget to hit that notification bell to be made aware of new ideas as they come out. And so you can win this beautiful pyramid. Anyway, I'm Orgone Nik. Thank you for joining me in my Orgonite studio. Have yourself an amazing rest of your day.